Theseus Vasilius Tavros is a warrior cleric on a religious pilgrimage. His primary focus is to find an artifact that will help his home, the Minotaur city-state of Voskia, and the Order of the Maze that he represents as he traverses the world. In his order, he is called a navigator, a young adventurer who will find his place in the church and Voskian society through great deeds. Minotaurs are sometimes seen as primitive barbarians in Almora, but Theseus considers himself quite civilized. He enjoys solving problems, using logic in conflicts, and helping people navigate the labyrinth in acts of self-discovery. As he travels, he hopes that he can disprove the belief that all Minotaurs are evil and savage, and learn a thing or two along the way.
Barley Braun is a 3-foot-tall, 30-pound halfling rogue. He can easily be thrown. He is very self-serving and very individualistic. Doesn't tend to get along well with others, but is so desperate for fun and entertainment in his own life that he is desperate for this kind of adventure. So he'll be interesting to play, I think.
Gaius Berzin is a human one-armed fighter who comes from the land of Hals. Years ago, he was a soldier in the Halsian army, until one day he comes home to his hometown of Ebonstone to find that his wife and children had been murdered in a raid from Valaris. He swore vengeance on those who killed his family, but in his rage, he loses his arm. He falls on hard times and hard drinks for a few years, but eventually he comes to realize that life is still worth living, and swears to live life to the fullest until he can meet his family again in the next life.
Hi everyone, my name is Christine, and I am playing Vita Teidai, pronouns they, them, a lizard folk wild magic sorcerer. They come from a community where there has not been a wild magic user in quite some time, so their magic is pretty out of control, and when they decided maybe they wanted to go see the world, their village was very excited about it. So now Vita's just out roaming around trying to get their magic under control. And that's when they meet up with this party.
My name is Robbie, and I play Red in the Almora RPG campaign along with his faithful companion and sidekick, Herschel. Red is a shifter ranger who grew up in Perea in a tiny little town called Aramore. One day, his entire town was destroyed. When he was 5, he eventually made his way to Nagual over near the coast. Some of his personality is that because he's been, just out hunting for a good portion of his life, he doesn't have the best social skills. He gets his stuff done. He's pretty quiet, but also determined and very methodical about getting it done, and super reliable about getting it done. He's gonna see it through, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks.
So I play Rhythm, a tabaxi druid. I grew up in a little town called Hazeldrum, which is on the border between Perea and Halls. I grew up there with my adoptive mother, a human woman who found me wandering in the forests when I was about a year old. She died a few years back, and I found out pretty darn quick that without her protection, I was not welcome in Hazeldrum anymore. So I've been wandering. I ran into some druids who taught me druidic magics and helped me harness some powers that I've had pretty much my entire life. But I've been sticking to the outskirts, avoiding towns and villages. But I ran into this minotaur a little while ago named Theseus, who has been, making me wonder if I should give towns a second chance. So now he and I are trying to figure out what to make of life as two kind of strange creatures in this weird world. But that's me. That's Rhythm.
Theseus Vasilius Tavros is a warrior cleric on a religious pilgrimage. His primary focus is to find an artifact that will help his home, the Minotaur city-state of Voskia, and the Order of the Maze that he represents as he traverses the world. In his order, he is called a navigator, a young adventurer who will find his place in the church and Voskian society through great deeds. Minotaurs are sometimes seen as primitive barbarians in Almora, but Theseus considers himself quite civilized. He enjoys solving problems, using logic in conflicts, and helping people navigate the labyrinth in acts of self-discovery. As he travels, he hopes that he can disprove the belief that all Minotaurs are evil and savage, and learn a thing or two along the way.
Barley Brawn is a
I should
3
do
foot
that.
tall.
But you could also do that.
Also do that. But shit. Oh my god. Okay, bye.
Thanks,
Oh,
Robbie.
no.
What up, nerds? We're live.
Wow.
Robbie is busy trying to break the world record of the largest number of pencils he can shove up his butt. Well, they're not sharpened. It's just pencil. Like,
I'm still
eh.
just like a
Once you get the first 8 in, you can start sliding them in between the other pencils, and it's not making contact with the skin.
Slightly terrifying.
I don't know any more than you do. I just want to put that
Well,
on
to
the
answer-
table.
To answer the question, to answer the question you don't want answered, a lot of practice in college is something he's been working for a long time. So he's like an Olympic athlete, more like an Olympic athlete.
I will pick you up, sir. Don't you think I won't? I won't do it. I will pick you up. You think you're
This
too
is
chunky.
everybody in the group to Barley. I will pick you up, sir.
By the head, usually, too.
look at that baby.
Palmed by the
Just
head.
like
Look at
palm
that baby.
skull like it's a basketball.
Look at how big this cat is.
Look at the baby.
So big. Look at this big baby.
Just
Yeah,
a baby.
Giant
baby.
Just a
infant.
baby.
This giant
Are we-
infant who
we're-
doesn't want to be held.
Actually,
You have no
Yeah.
choices now. I love you. I love you. You're so silly. With your tongue. He's like, why? You,
Please, what?
this is not
Why
what
do
I
you
want.
do this to me?
This is not what I want. This is not what I asked for.
All right.
Zita's coin, if you have put me down, please.
Oh, okay, fine. Here. There you go.
So what the fuck happened last week?
Yeah, who wants to tell me what happened last week?
Oh. Collective sigh.
Well,
Let me open this.
I haven't. So, let's see how well my memory is. Oh, hello, Aurora. Hello.
Aw.
How are you?
basically,
Let's see how well my memory is. Immediately gets distracted by the
There's
attention
a
span
dog
drops
in the
up and
room. Okay.
Listen.
it's just
So
we're just like I convinced my kids to come with us.
you
to,
did not convince your kids.
I did not
I
convince.
convinced your kids.
Rhythm was the cool
Prob-
aunt.
Yeah, well, we went to a secluded area, tried to talk things over with my children. It didn't work out the first time until Rhythm went flying as a
It didn't
hummingbird.
work out the first, second, or third time.
Yeah, basically, it was not going well. They don't like me,
They don't.
but
Yeah, like anyone if it makes you feel any better.
And then I
They're
fought
not.
racism with racism.
And then Rhythm fought racism with racism.
How did you fight racism with racism?
I did a lot of, well, as a human, he's okay jokes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it did happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we got
Honestly, I'm for that though. Fuck humans.
I
Fair.
mean, yeah.
People are the worst. Ugh, just any of them. I don't like them.
I don't even like it.
It's a good thing none of
But
us here
anyway.
are people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Nice.
Oh, that checks out.
Nice.
Honestly, yeah, that kind of checks out. We all aim to be Baba Yaga.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Mothman. I just want Mothman's abs.
I am pre-adventure Bilbo.
When he was
Just-
like, please don't come to my house.
Yeah, don't come to my
I'm trying
house.
to
Let me eat a bunch of stuff.
Second
Yeah.
breakfast. Leave me alone.
I will read about adventures. I might even be into writing, but please don't make me go places.
When you try to make me ride a horse, I'm gonna protest a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, so the group found in the middle of an active battlefield. Can't stress how traumatic that should be. The long lost children of Gaius. The children have been raised, brainwashed, really whichever one you want to choose. It's synonymous at this point. To
Nature and nurture.
absolutely hate elves, because the nation of Valaris, where they were stolen to and raised in, has a very deep-seated disdain for the elven folk. So they are basically Nazis, and very stubborn, because not only are they Nazis, but they're teenagers.
Teenagers.
And if there's one way you can make a Nazi worse, it'd be to make them a teenager.
Would that be a teen-Nazi?
I guess so, yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Does Robbie?
I'm here.
Not yet. Not
All
yet.
right, I'm
No.
here.
Robbie, do you have a Fresca?
No, it's spray.
Thank God.
Okay, good. Making sure you didn't join a cult.
Okay. Don't you fucking diss Fresca.
No, you
Fresca
like
sucks.
Fresca? Oh,
That was
come
like
on,
the
Allie.
only soda I had as a child, so it's like depressed nostalgia, but like nostalgia nonetheless.
That's child abuse. I'm sorry.
I
It
remember
was-
the name, but I do not remember the taste of Fresca.
It tastes like sadness.
It's just a lemon lime soda. Well, no, isn't it grapefruit flavored or some shit?
I think maybe. It
Maybe.
doesn't taste like what it says it does.
It's my mother's favorite
Taste some
soda. So
lies.
it was like the only soda we ever had.
We had Squirt, and I liked that alright.
Phrasing. Yeah, that soda is phrasing.
Yeah.
Ruining childhood.
So yeah, so yeah,
But yeah,
Teenage
found
Nazi,
racist children,
stubborn.
convinced racist children, like, hey, give your dad a break, give us a break, give us 24 hours at least. If
Give me a break.
you absolutely hate us, we'll bring you back. And then I tree-strided us to a totally predetermined location.
Yep. But before we do that, I do want to. This is my, I'm giving you hints part of the show, where in my recap I stress things that I'd like to draw attention to, such as the kids tried to walk away like 4 or 5 times, and they were not allowed to walk away, and that caused for a significantly more tense conversation every single time. And this goes out to everyone out there. It's okay to let people walk away.
No.
Yeah, that's what they
was
said about
Marley's
Hitler
response.
too. Just let him walk away.
Well,
Look what happened.
When someone
Actually-
feels like they are being forced, they are inherently going to be against the thing that they are forced to do.
Also, on the Hitler thing, when they left him by himself in the bunker, things kind of got better. They gave him a few minutes to think through a situation. He put a bullet in his head. I don't know.
Are we doing fantasy grounds or not?
Probably not, unless you
I was
guys
gonna say because you're
take
not
a really
up
weird
if
turn.
we are.
Have you met us?
Yeah, again, it's an option, but if we do, we'll take a quick
Alright.
break to load up fantasy grounds and shit.
Yeah, let's not kill my
Yeah, Barley.
only friends before you. Spoiler alert.
Too late.
So, but yeah, you guys do have the option to let people walk away. Just can't stress that enough. Because I expected these kids to show up at periodic points throughout the series of Valeris escapades, but now we're not doing that. So,
What?
yeah, you know there's a war going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would be pretty involved in
Nuh-uh.
that. So.
Yeah, we don't
So anyway.
have to solve every problem in 1 to 2 episodes.
It's okay to let Nazis go think about what they've done.
Yeah, that's what makes Charleston happen.
Hey,
Charlottesville happen.
They didn't think. No one challenged them there. That was the
Yeah,
problem.
they thought about it. They're like,
Yeah,
no one's gonna
seriously.
say anything.
That's the issue. Is if the cops had treated them the way they treated every other peaceful gathering, they would have had some time
But
to
the
think
cops
about
are
it.
Nazis, so.
Yeah,
That's
they
exactly
probably
right.
had family in that crowd.
Half of them were in
Oh, that
crowd.
also.
There were people who went through like screenshots and found faces. There were a lot of off-duty cops in that group.
Wow. Not surprising.
Yeah.
Some of those that work forces.
So
yeah,
anyway,
so I tree strided us to one of probably
Fernva.
I was giving them description. It was the prettiest place I could think of that was not 100% human, and
Fern
hence
Gully.
it is Fernva.
Fern Gully.
And so say like, give us 24 hours. They agreed. Tree stride, and I just pushed them in and then follow behind.
I hope you guys are walking through the tree vag because it closes pretty quickly.
It's like 30 seconds. You guys have
Yeah,
done
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Ushers everyone out, shakes the blanket fort.
I dove.
I
Stuff-
after
stuff
we
it as they
packed
hop
we
in.
packed up the blanket fort before I opened.
I
okay.
dove right in
Yeah.
like I'm going
Yeah,
into
we
the
did.
pool.
Jackknife.
Okay. So, on the horizon is a familiar sight, the city of Fernva, where you guys have been.
I ain't never been there.
Back
Oh,
in.
what?
You have friends.
Yeah.
here.
I ain't never been there.
Okay.
I ain't
Alright.
happy.
So, it's maybe a good hour's walk away. I mean, you guys are like on a hill, sort of a forested area away from the city, because a lot of the land immediately around the city is dedicated to stuff like farmland and stuff like that. Trades that should not be in the walls. Hilda, Eric, and Sigurd are kind of like looking around, really confused, not oriented at all. None of the familiar sights. The fauna doesn't. I'm sorry, the flora doesn't even look familiar
They're
to them.
probably a little motion sick because like tree stride.
Yeah. Hilda's obviously the first one to regain her composure, and she's like, "Okay, so where'd you take us?"
Welcome to Fernva. This is one of the most beautiful places that I have ever been, and we're just gonna spend some time.
Okay. Why is this? And she kind of looks at it suspiciously, like, doesn't seem like anything special. She's like, why is this the most beautiful place?
Just follow me a bit, okay? You said you'd give us 24 hours.
I'm here just trying to understand.
You will. And I'm gonna look around and see what all is around us where we came out.
The birth canal.
Yes,
It's
you guys are in the birth canal.
God damn it.
The placenta is
where-
everywhere.
Well, that's the thing, is that's where Rob was about 400 years ago on this day. This is his birthday.
Hey, happy birthday,
Oh,
Rob.
God.
Man,
You
damn,
got me
man,
early.
I didn't realize it's your
Got me
birthday.
early.
Are you 400?
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up.
Damn, man, modern medicine
Yes,
is
shut up.
crazy.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
moisturizes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Rob ever actually made a TikTok about all of these birthdays, maybe we'd know how old he was.
Hey Rob,
I'm sorry.
do you remember in the last session where you said
Yes.
it will be tomorrow?
I did. I do.
And,
I did.
and that
say
was
that.
like 7 tomorrows ago?
Yeah, I would have won a lot of money if
Mhm.
anyone had taken me up on that bet.
That
Oh,
was a
which-
whole
Any new guests?
birthday
Welcome
ago,
to the Roast
Rob.
Rob segment of our show. It happens every time. There's no consistent moment in the show, but just arbitrarily we decide to roast him,
Yeah.
and that is what is happening right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a whole birthday ago, Rob.
That's true.
I know.
It's been since your last birthday. She's right.
Oh my god.
I know.
All right. So,
It was 7 birthdays. It was a Wednesday.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. It was a Wednesday. It was Almora. That's fair. All right. So you guys are on top of a hill, sort of at the edge of the wooded area surrounding Fernva. The hill sort of overlooks the city a little bit. It's behind you is the forest proper, and you chose the tree that was basically the closest to the city that you could think of, that you could remember.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys see a small path sort of off to the side, and can begin working your way down towards Fernva if you'd like to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of lead the way towards one of the first times y'all have seen me intentionally walk towards a city, but towards the city proper.
Of your own volition and everything.
Vita sidles up to Rhythm and just tries to be subtle, fails utterly, and whispers just a little bit too loud. Is Rhythm okay? This is towards city. Rhythm is not normally this excited about going towards urban centers. Does Rhythm need anything? Glass of water?
I'm just really hoping my hunch works, because if who I think is here isn't here, we're fucked. No big deal. No big deal.
No.
It's
Oh,
gonna
great.
be fine.
Okay.
Just
fine.
lovely
Okay.
little side quest.
This is just the fate of.
Totally fine.
This is just the fate of my children at stake here. No big
I mean,
deal.
if all else fails, you guys could tree stride away the next day and leave them here and let them figure it out. They're surrounded by a new culture, you know.
Yeah, like best case scenario,
You funny.
I think this is about where they should be, but like worst case scenario, we'll just run away and we're nowhere fucking near their hometown, so it's fine.
It's true.
Although then we get like 3 arch
just-
nemesis, and that's like not a good idea, especially if they're related to Gaius. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
As we're walking towards town, I'm doing my usual searching for symbols in Druidic on like signposts and shit, and a little more frantically than usual.
Okay.
The hell are you doing? You're poking at shit.
Talking to me?
What's up?
No, he's talking to Rhythm.
Rhythm.
Oh. I'm trying to type Rob.
You dick. I gotta not do that to the DM. I feel like he got me last time.
To be fair, I got all of you last time.
True.
It was a session where I basically just argued with you all.
Oh yeah.
So as you
Anyway.
are walking toward the city, you do notice some familiar signs. Like, you haven't found any druidic markings yet, but you see bits of like wild cultivation that match a pattern.
Mhm.
Sort of some used campsites that look arranged in a familiar way.
Okay.
You get a little bit closer in, and there's like a small, I don't know what the word is. I get grove is probably too big, but just like a little outcropping of trees um, near the side of the road, and you hear a voice kind of call out from behind you and say, "Oh my! If that's not rhythm,
Oh, thank fucking God.
how have you been?"
Hang on, there's a meme for this.
Fuck you. It's for Wednesdays.
There's crossover.
I'm gonna turn directly around and just run and hug him.
Okay.
Aw.
He's going to basically stand and welcome the embrace, and he's sort of going to like come in close and say, "It's been a while, my friend. How are
It's
you?"
been
Can I
far too long.
can I take this moment
You already did by interrupting.
while she is distracted? Can I pet
No,
the
you
cat?
can't.
I ran fucking past you, bitch. No.
Consent, Gaius. Consent, Gaius. Shame.
Cat. It's a
Okay,
cat.
but I have
There's
also pet
cats.
the cat, and I got consent first.
Gaius, if you keep being the creepy uncle, you will never be the successful father.
Oh,
I will kill your
okay.
children.
Oh shit.
I have
God
no
damn.
problem taking out a Nazi.
Oh my God. Two of them are young though.
That sucks. They shouldn't be Nazis. All right.
Oh my God.
Proto-Nazi.
Shit.
All right.
Oh God.
So yeah, he pulls you in, gives you a warm hug, and he's like, "Where have you been, my friend?"
Oh God, there's far too much to go over in any period of time.
And
Let's just say a lot has happened in the years since we last crossed paths.
I can tell you've got your own new circle you're traveling with, it seems.
Yeah, guys, this is Co. Co, this is
Not David Allen, right?
no.
Okay. Good.
This is
Oh, got it.
Gaius and Red and Vita and Barley. And also new possible friends, Hilda and Sigurd and fuck, what's your other child's name? Eric. The simple one is the one that I can't remember.
Quick question. Do you mind describing for the group what Co looks like?
I would like Allie to do that,
Yeah.
as this is a creation of Allie's.
Yeah. So as I'm introducing you, Co is a slender
Man.
slender
man.
but fairly well built. Like, he's muscular while slender, almost like swimmer body mentality. Full elf with longer silver blonde hair and delicate features, who's typically wearing earth-toned, simple clothing with like a simple leather vest that's partial armor but also just very practical. Simple clothing that is more functional, extravagant in any way, and no adornments, no extravagant features, just everything practical and simple. but tall, slender. What to us probably looks middle-aged, but is
He done
God
been
knows. I don't even know if I
yeah.
gave him an age. He's an elf.
If he looks middle-aged as elvish, he's probably between 400 to 600 years old.
Yeah, 400 to 600-ish, yeah.
I glance over at my children and see. I want to see how they're reacting to this being an elf.
So, roll insight.
Insight. That's a 13.
Okay. So, Hilda is doing her best not to be obvious, but there is a look of discomfort and disdain on her face that's very consciously being struggled. Like she's kind of doing the thing where she's like, she knows that it's starting to show and she's trying not to show because she's trying to honor the agreement, but also like, years of training. So
Yeah.
go
And
ahead.
I was gonna say, anticipating that her and the younger ones are probably having that kind of moment, I'm gonna look more towards them, but still towards the whole group, and say, Ko is the reason I am who I am today. He was a monumental part of my getting over my mother's death.
He's going to kind of lean in, like near you, so that the group he draws the attention from the group, and he goes, "Please don't let her flattery get the best of you. It's all disappointment from here. Would you guys like to join us for lunch?"
Yes, Vita would be delighted.
I do miss elvish cooking. My stepmother, fake adoptive stepmother, was an elf also.
That's wonderful. You'll have my partner's cooking, who's half Goliath, not elvish, so prepare yourself.
It's delicious food. Don't let him speak down. You know he makes great food.
Memory is more kind to him than he'll be to our stomachs. Let's move this way.
He is my favorite. Vita, you will love him.
Great. Vita is curious. Has Ko ever experienced some of the spices of the island of Kosna, or the continent of Kosna?
I can't say that I have. I tend to stay between halls, Korea, sometimes down into Beacon, but
Vita's parent has given them so much extra spice, so much. Vita has been trying to give it away. So
that'd be delightful.
yes, okay, thank you. Vita's parents said it is impolite to visit someone's home without giving some sort of gift, and Vita has been extremely impolite, so Vita is trying to fix this pattern. And they hand kind of like a guest gift of some Kosnan spices.
Okay.
I am sure Sidonia will find something magical to do with them.
Sparingly. So sparingly. It nearly killed Red. It was no problem.
Please, let's not mention that. Red's face visibly reddens because he remembers the heat.
Fair enough.
Like sympathy, heat pains happening.
Rhythm, also roll an insight check for me.
For who?
For your mama.
Rhythm.
Rhythm is not my mother, guys.
14.
It's mommy, not mama.
Yes. Mommy?
Okay, yeah. So you guys make your way toward this like small again, I wish I knew a better word. It's maybe 2 or 3 dozen trees. Like it's just a little
Copse.
Is that the right word? Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
said it so confidently, and now I'm questioning myself.
I trust you when it comes to
Cops.
plants intrinsically, so
COPSE?
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh well, we learned something today, everyone.
I missed it.
Copse is a word.
Crops or a small group of trees.
Yeah.
Of trees. Cheese?
Small group of
A
trees.
copse.
Cheese.
It's a copse.
Okay.
A copse of trees.
Yeah, but we
Ah,
don't
there
like
it is.
cops, so
I'm gonna
Cope.
shoot
go to with copes.
Jill.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
you
that's
a
the problem
cop?
with cops.
Stop it. I set that up for you. You're
Anyway.
welcome. You son of a bitch.
That was glorious.
You-
Oh god.
See, here's the thing. Instead
So-
of calling people son of a bitch, because their mothers might be nice, why don't we just call him a bitch of a son? Because he is a bitch of a son.
Damn.
Checks out. Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Let's be nice to
feel like
nice to
that's still
Trish.
insult.
Let's be nice to Trish just
Damn.
once.
I do like Trish.
All right.
I feel
So-
like it's still an insult, but whatever.
But it's an insult to him,
To him.
not his mother.
It's directed at the right person. Yeah.
Yeah, it's directed to the right person, not the creator of said person.
Yes.
A dog of a man.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so what do I notice?
So
Not
as you guys are walking into the copes, because fuck the cops. As you guys are walking into this area, it seems like it wouldn't be that well camouflaged, but like you notice that the plants and the leaves have all been kind of haphazardly, but at the same time very intentionally negotiated into a more stealthy situation. So a campsite that you wouldn't have noticed just walking by the road unfolds as soon as you kind of walk through a few trees and bushes and stuff and go, oh, there's like a dozen or so people here, like just cooking and with tents, but we didn't see it.
Bigger on the inside.
A little bit, yeah, but also I don't. Well, half of you guys know what I'm talking about. Think Steve Wallace with his leaf tarp that he's been using lately, where he basically becomes invisible somehow. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just understanding the, well, and being able to work with plants, but understanding the environment really well, they're able to kind of like camp in plain sight. So anyway, yeah, you guys walk in, you see another few elvish folks. There's an orc or two, a very large man who is tending to the stew of the evening. I think there's a halfling and you know, just a pretty eclectic group of people. They look up and see Ko and see the group and kind of give a nod. And then they see Rhythm, and a few of the folks immediately run up to greet Rhythm and ask her how she's been doing.
I'm like giving people hugs and being like, it's been a lot. I will not lie. Gosh, over
That's fun.
tonight I'll tell you about everything. I don't want to go over it like 9 times. I really should have just come with you guys. Past year or so has been fucking hell, but like in a good way. I think I've done a lot of good, I think. Like when you're catching up with like people who you genuinely like after a long period of time and you're like, I actually think I've been okay. It's like, guys, I've been okay, but like, holy fuck, that was a lot.
As you get closer to where the cooking site is, Sidonia doesn't look up from what he's doing and he goes, "You've been gone.
Yeah, I know.
It's been better without you."
Woo!
You bitch. I'm just gonna hug him. I'm gonna
Because-
punch him and then I'm gonna hug him.
He's gonna do that and look at you and he goes, "It ain't easy always being the second most attractive person in the camp."
I was half expecting him to say, "You hit me and I find out about it."
Yeah.
That's a tradition in my dad's side of the family to all the children. But you gotta commit, otherwise you will find out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna punch him and be like, "You bitch," and just hug him.
Yeah, he'll hug you back. And in fact, he's big enough that when he hugs you, you are like an alarming height off the ground. Because he comes in for the bear hug, one arm
That's
thing,
that
and
good shit.
lifts you. Yeah, lifts you as though it's nothing, and then puts you
Yeah,
back down.
Barley, this
And
is what all of us do to you, and you're seeing it happen to me.
That's what Cornelius does to everyone also. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
The best hugs are the
yeah.
hugs where you leave the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And once I'm back on the ground, I'll be like, Ko's got some new spices for you from one of my friends.
Are we talking about the kind of spices that maybe shouldn't be in food, or are we talking about food spices?
No, these are food spices. They are
Food
pasta.
spices.
Oh.
I've got the other stuff for at the fire tonight.
All right, as you've got kids with you, though.
It's fine. They'll be asleep by the time we take it out.
That's a great way to make sure the kids stay up to see what the fuck is happening.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Maybe Hilda can go on a little dream quest.
Guys,
solve your racism with LSD.
Not LSD.
Get a nice hard
just
reboot. It'll be
weed.
fine.
It's basically just weed.
I promise you, weed is not enough to cure racism. Look at half of my family.
Bum, 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 bum.
That's fair.
They need like straight fucking DMT or something. Like,
I think acid would do the trick.
so anyway,
Or mushrooms. Mushrooms.
So yeah, is there anyone specific? Like, what's your, you're doing greetings. Are you working towards something here, or just catching up?
I'm basically just doing a little bit of catch up, like bits, like throwing in bits and pieces of like, I killed a fucking demon, guys. Like, can you believe that? And
Well, you didn't.
devil. Fuck you. But like, I killed a fucking devil, guys, and little bits and pieces of our journey. But after a couple minutes, I'm gonna circle back to Ko and be like, I was really hoping you guys were gonna be here. The kids we've got with us are actually children of my friend Gaius here, who were stolen basically in battle. They were prisoners of war and trained to be fighters in the war against the elves in Valeris. And
that's not the first time I've heard something like that for the children over there.
yeah, we are trying to at least give them an understanding of the world outside of where they were forced to grow up.
Seems like a wise idea.
And I'm really fucking glad that you were where I thought you were gonna be.
We have our cycles.
Yeah. It's been far too long, Ko. I missed you.
It has been. We've all missed you. Did Sidonia make the joke about now that you're gone, he's the most attractive?
Yeah.
It's a daily thing with him. I love him.
I mean, now that I am gone, he is. So.
Oh, so handsome.
Oh well.
He is objectively hot. This is canon now. Like, Johnny is extremely hot.
Okay.
I don't know if I told
writing
you
it
this,
down.
Brian, but like my mentality of Sidonia is the like, oh gosh, what was the Brendan Fraser movie, early 90s or early 2000s, late
George of the
90s,
Jungle.
when he had the long hair,
George of the Jungle.
chiseled abs?
George of the
Was
Jungle.
it George of the Jungle?
George of the Jungle.
He's
It was
that.
George of the Jungle. Yes.
Was it George of the Jungle?
Are you talking about Encino Man?
He is dumb pretty. He is like I told Brian, he is a himbo, but in the vein of I am dumb but pretty.
I have to. I'll be right back. I have to.
And
do
so
something
he is
that's related
George
to
of the
this.
She's
Jungle.
going to go get her
some way.
copy of
Brendan
George of the
Fraser.
Jungle.
Are you talking about
Like-
Encino Man?
That's
Pauly Shore. Yeah.
Pauly
Pauly
Shore.
You're talking about
Encino Man.
the Johnny Mnemonic.
What?
Johnny Mnemonic.
Are you having a stroke, Rob?
Yes.
Brian, call Nanny.
All right, I guess I'm gonna call Nanny real fast. I'm giving Sarah a second to go grab her copy of George of the Jungle because that's important to her. I
Jokes.
guess.
We need jokes.
There are cats in the background of her screen.
Where's
Will they
those cats?
lurk?
Hondo's watching her, and Tilly's seeing what she can get into now that she's not in the room. Now that Sarah's not in the room.
Edward.
All right. Well, but also yes, Sidonia is half Goliath, so he's a pale Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, he's like pale. He's a Goliath. So he's like
fucking massive.
Also, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Don't ever use Bing again, Allie.
I have the movie. I was gonna show you the movie.
Don't ever
That's
use
all it was.
Bing
His
again.
picture's on the cover.
it's what auto-populates in my fucking browser, okay? I wasn't
Then
gonna go
fix it.
around and fix it.
Yeah, you can't change that. You shouldn't use Bing.
I know I
What's
shouldn't.
wrong
I
with
don't
Bing?
typically,
Look-
but like it was the
Listen.
fastest.
What's wrong
Allie,
with Bing?
it's awful. Allie, you should download Opera and you should never use Bing.
Fuck Opera.
What?
Opera is significant. Anyway, all right, we'll argue
You know
about
what's
this later.
better than all of these? Ask Jeeves.
Don't forget about Don't forget about Lycos.
No!
Lycos and
Dog
Alta Vista.
pile. Dog pile. I miss dog pile.
All right, well,
That's what I'm talking about.
Nobody.
I think most of us were raised on the wrong side of the internet, and Dogpile immediately makes you think that you forgot something you should have forgotten.
Dogpile.com. November 1996 when it launched.
There's a reason why I'm very quiet right now. It's
It's
because
so
I'm having a flashback.
Wait, when did Ask Jeeves come out?
We don't-
Wait, I need to know. This is,
This
oh,
is-
also 1996, but June?
Okay,
Well, it's older than
So-
Dog.
He wasn't.
So
man.
Ko goes over to Gaius and says, "Perhaps this is a bit. What is on your fucking screen?
There's like
Rob?
a bug flying back and forth.
Yes.
Do you have
It's a
moths?
single fly.
That son of a bitch. All right. So we're gonna look at a lot of fly ass tonight, apparently.
Get at you.
A lot of fly ass.
Yeah. All right. So Ko goes over to Gaius and he says, "Do you mind if I take you for a stroll?
That's
Just the two of
that's
us."
fine.
You
Come with
can
me.
make it if you try.
He walks you sort of deeper into the cops, and
Ghost. Like we call
it's clear that like they've sort of divvied out parts of this as like more private areas, like campsite type things. You walk, 5 or so minutes and exchange pleasantries, and then he's pretty direct. He turns and says, "So tell me everything that happened with your children."
Well, I was sent off to battle as we in halls so often do. And while I was out fighting, a raiding party from Valaris came and they attacked my town, killed a bunch of people, my wife included, and in the end, they stole my children. I didn't know that at the time. I thought they were dead. There's just bodies everywhere. There's no way to tell who was who. So you just assume that my kids were dead, and for years, roughly 13 years, right? 15, 13?
Yes, it was 13.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Can't remember my own backstory. That was 13 years ago. I've only recently learned that they were alive, so that's where we're at.
What happened after?
I mean, after they were gone?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I decided I was going to get revenge. I had a sort of ring tattoo for all four of them. You know, my wife and the three kids, and I was gonna mark off every time that I killed somebody from Valaris. And in my rage, I lost my arm, so that was the thing. And it's at that point that I gave up. Like there was no point in fighting; it wasn't going to bring them back. So after I got like a stipend from, our government, I used it all and drank it all away. It took some time for me to get readjusted to life. But that's mostly what happened.
What stopped you from drinking? You don't smell drunk now.
Sort of had to like God, what's another way of saying coming to Jesus moment where like just like
Coming
realizing
to gods.
Yeah. Coming to Nadell, coming to Erdir, coming to Ambin, Brema, Bismer, Lanaville, Gatal.
I mean, you can just say
pick your
gods
fucking-
too. Like
Yeah.
coming to the gods.
You're coming to the gods moment, as it were, where someone came through town and just sort of wanted to hire somebody to protect their crap as they were going through some sort of caravan thing. I don't know. And I just sort of volunteered for that, and I started working odd jobs and focused on doing things like that to keep myself sane.
Gaius, I'm going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you feel that there's any similarity between you and your children? And what I mean by that is, you experienced deep hurt and trauma. You filled that hurt with alcohol. You tried to cure an infection with another kind of infection.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that perhaps this hate that they have for my kind is their drink?
You're probably right.
So then what caused the initial hurt?
Well, It was the attack. The fact that I wasn't there.
That was a trick question, guys. You don't know what caused the hurt because you haven't asked them.
Oh,
Don't speak on their behalf.
I thought you were talking about me, not them. Sorry, confused.
No, them. Your children.
Yeah.
Just be sure not to speak on their behalf. Be sure to listen to them. And I think we might be able to do some good for them. But whatever the hurt is, and it may be different for each of them, it may be particular to one aspect of their experience, you're very close to it. So if you're going to be part of the solution, you're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to be gentle. And you're going to have to be open.
I see.
You have to be the opposite of what they've been shown their entire lives. Now, let's see what we can do about lunch. And he's going to sort of gently put his hand on your shoulder and guide you back.
Okay, I follow.
In this time, I've been just walking around with Hilda, identifying different plants and asking just simple, like, have you seen anything like this before? Explaining if it's similar to plants that might grow in Valaris and how they're different, and just basic things of like, this is not challenging any understanding you already have, but expanding upon it.
Yeah. You're going to get some support from Ko's sister, Noesian. So she'll kind of come up, who is also an elvish female elf. Looks very similar to Ko, as it's his sister. Long blonde hair, tall, slender. But she is... whereas Ko is more interested in leadership and healing and solidarity, Noesian is probably closer to Allie in that she's not as social. She's very much so interested in the nature aspect of things.
Mm-hmm. It's like, how are these plants useful? How are they, like, how are they useful as crops versus healing properties versus useful as elements of disguise versus just fucking pretty for pretty's fucking sake.
Yeah. And Hilda is, waxing and waning in terms of interest. Like, there are certain things where she's like, I never use this ever. But then, like, stuff that has a martial application, like, hey, this can stop bleeding, or, this dulls pain and that kind of thing. She's like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty cool. So you can tell, I mean, she's still kind of that one-track mind in terms of what information seems valuable to her.
Mm-hmm.
So Ko will come back and he'll sort of announce to the group, he's like, if my dear Sidonia is ready, I say we all take a moment to eat.
Rob, I'm buying you a fucking pincher plant or some shit, because fuck that fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys all sit down. Ko will he'll start with Red. Actually, he'll kind of say, perhaps this is a little forward, but you look familiar to me. Have we met at some point?
Probably. There aren't many people that look like me, so probably.
Where are you from?
That's a difficult question.
Well, trust me, as a group of traveling folk, we understand the difficulty, but Do you have family somewhere?
Nah, not anymore.
Oh, okay. Could have sworn I'd met you.
I'll lean in and
I'll say, you ever travel up towards Nogwal?
yeah, I was about to say,
Oh yeah, I've
were
been.
you up there recently?
We traveled through the Drear Wood not too long ago. Past Old Aramore. Habling, which was
I'm
something.
surprised you remember Old Aramore.
We
I
don't
know
forget
you.
these kinds of things.
You long-lived things.
Things. That's a
Yeah,
kind
look,
word.
man, my brain's in
He'll
two.
give.
I didn't.
He'll
Yeah, I
he'll
didn't
give you a
mean it. I
playful.
just my brain's in two
He'll give you a very generous playful. Like,
beings.
it's all good. Yeah. He'll turn to Vita next and go, I'll have to pick your brain at some point about Kazna and well, I don't know how much Rhythm's told you, but our group we try to do good in the world. And please don't take offense to this, but Kazna seems to want to do the exact
Oh no,
opposite.
it's trash fire. Vita is from Vita is from community that sought to distance themselves from the kleptocratic supremacy. The madam currently still runs things for the time being. No, Vita totally understands the necessity of
No,
avoiding that area.
well, and I hope this comes as a compliment, but Vita seems exquisitely
Oh,
pleasant.
thanks.
Which is why it was so confusing when you said you were from Kazna. I'm curious what places we might at some point like to visit.
Vita is from community that because of the nature of the mainland way of running things, Vita's community has taken great pains to not be found because
Ah,
as much as Vita would love to introduce new friends to parents, it might be a bit jarring for community to bring new folks onto island that is meant to be fairly hidden.
absolutely. You don't have to explain a delicate ecosystem to me.
Bless. Much thanks.
Uh,
Vita is very complimented though.
no, it's good to know that there's a bastion of good in a land that is so determined to get rid of anything of the
A
sort.
tiny, hidden, very stubborn bastion, yes.
We'll take it.
Oh,
The fly.
I was just laughing at Rob getting mad at the fly
oh no.
walking on his camera. Sorry.
Why? Why are you there? Why are you there? What?
To
There's a
punish
light
you.
there. There's a light there. Just
They're
land
not
somewhere.
moths.
Damn.
Rough.
They're insectoids. Come
Insectoids. Okay.
A little,
on.
like,
Just insect. Period.
if you have a little balsamic vinegar, what you can do is get a cup, put a little dribble of it in the bottom, and then take some cellophane, wrap it over the top of the cup, and poke holes in it. And that's a great fly trap for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can do anything about it now, but yeah.
No.
You can also, if you have just like any lighter, you can burn down your house.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
no.
that is a solution.
Yes.
You could take butter. You could take a little tiny bit of butter, like a tiny pad, just like cut an end of the butter off if you have like a long thing, and then put it on a plate next to you, and they'll go for the butter, and then you just squash them. I mean, you don't have to squash them. You could throw it outside. Like, you could just get a paper plate and throw the whole thing outside.
Okay.
Or get the dog to eat the butter with the fly on it. Protein for him. Protein for the fly before it dies.
I need a necromancer to bring back my cat so that she will eat the fly.
Aw.
Aw,
She will
good kitty.
fuck up a fly. She don't give a
Aw.
shit.
Aw.
He
That
says
fly
as the
doesn't give a
fly
shit.
goes across the screen. Yeah.
That fly don't give no shits. That fly wants to be a star, Rob.
I
That
know.
fly
On the wrong
wants-
stream then.
Hey, Rob, you know what would be great?
Oh no.
Clipping this
Son of a bitch.
in TikTok.
Yes, okay.
But will he
But
do it?
I'm gonna make a bet right now.
No. I mean, eventually. It'll take 100 years, but I'll eventually get there.
That is actually the most reasonable and believable estimate you've given.
Okay. Actually,
No.
yeah. So Ko is going to look over to Hilda while everyone's eating and say, "So I understand that you're not particularly fond of elves."
Oh, this is how it's going. Okay.
I was in the middle of.
Welcome to Brian getting whiplash.
And we're gonna take a break because I have to pee.
All right.
Nice.
Yay! Oh, before we go,
No, shut up, I have to pee. Rob, shut the fuck up. I will kill you.
Rob,
I
you
will
better
light your
hurry the
house
fuck
on
up.
Fire. I will piss on
Get outta
everything you
here.
own.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's me, your DM for Almora RPG, Brian. We're taking a break right now. Some of us are probably going to use the bathroom, get a snack. Sarah's probably having a mental breakdown. I want to take this moment to make sure that we remind you to hit the follow button if you haven't already. If you'd like to continue seeing us play Dungeons & Dragons in my homebrew world. Monday nights at 7 p.m. we're playing Dungeons & Dragons in Almora. That's a homebrew world. It's 100% created by me for this group of people. On Friday nights we get together and just talk about stuff. It's a disaster usually. It's worth watching. It's one of those kind of train wreck situations. You really want to tune in for that. That starts at 8 p.m. on Friday nights. In upcoming Wednesdays, or maybe by the time you're seeing this video, it will have already started. Robbie is going to be hosting his own sessions in Yalmora, which is a Guy Fieri-based homebrew world that he's been working on. Also, probably a disaster. Totally worth watching. And then here and there, we'll play video games just as we have time. Take a moment to hit subscribe, especially if you have Prime. You can do a Prime subscription. It doesn't cost you anything, and we get supported that way. We also have a link tree in our thing down here. We've got YouTube if you want to catch up on the old episodes. We have Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. We also have Buy Me a Coffee if you don't want to do a subscription on Twitch. I think it's $3. It just sends us a little bit of support. And what we're trying to use that for is to help grow the channel. Allie is someone who does most of our social media and a lot of our other behind-the-scenes work, and we're trying to work together as a group to bring in enough money to get her a better computer, because hers is... it's doing pretty poorly. We are trying to help Sarah out with another computer because she's the one that she's had since college back in 2011, and she is our digital design person. She'd like to continue doing artwork for us and that kind of stuff, and we want to support her in doing that. It also goes to pay for subscriptions. We use D&D Beyond, we use Fantasy Grounds, and eventually we would like to get to the point to where it's paying us to continue doing this for you guys. I spend way more time than I probably should writing for this world, not just for the campaign, but I'm also working on side projects, short stories, and things like that. We've got Robbie, who spends a ton of time setting up the tech for this, making sure that the stream is run clear and that you guys can hear everything. Everyone's kind of pulling in and using their own resources to do this, and your support helps us do that even better. So if you like what you're seeing, you want to continue to support stream, there are tons of ways to do it. There's probably a good few more minutes before we will be back and ready to continue whatever we're doing at this moment. It's probably stupid, but funny nonetheless. We will be back in a few minutes. You'll see a screen. Just sit here, take a break, go use the bathroom, get a snack for yourself. I don't know, check on your mom, see how she's doing. Your partner? You got cats? Anyway, we'll be back in a few minutes.
You're cool.
What up, nerds?
Hello, friends.
I refuse to lie. I refuse to lie to the public.
You lie every day of your life.
Ow. Damn, Robbie.
I got a
Like,
dog.
what?
I mean, that's
Okay.
fair. Masking is lying, I guess. Autism is real.
All right.
Hey, Papa, sit up.
So, Rob,
No.
what did you want to say before I had to piss?
Oh, in the middle of him abruptly doing that thing that he did, I was taking a drink and I kind of spit something out.
Okay. So, Eric and Sigrid are frozen, and I think pretty much everyone else in the camp is too.
I'm gonna laugh.
I'm just smiling. This is what I expected.
I
Vita
am laughing.
slowly brings their drink to their mouth and just watches.
Openly laughing. Just hysterically laughing.
Ko is going to sort of take a look around and say, "Oh, you're in no danger here. It's okay. Be honest with us. Is there some reason? Has someone slighted you? Or by all means, I pride myself as someone who tries to right the wrongs in the world. If someone's done wrong by you, by all means, give me a chance to fix it." And Hilda, is like
Everyone get
bamboozled.
Everyone get ready for an hour of Brian talking to himself as two different people.
So just what it's like being around me half the time.
Yeah.
Aww.
Except half the time, I project the other personalities onto my cats.
This is true.
That's just true. That's just true.
Yeah,
There's no lives suspected.
that's why I needed so many of them. So yeah, Hilda sits there for a second, just stunned, like, the fuck is happening? And she goes, "Well, I was raised in Valeris, and we have a real elf we have a problem. There's tension there. Resources and land and scarcity and all that, and it's unfair. The humans have one kingdom, and Ko's like, you have more than one." And she goes, "Well, us humans." And he says, "No, by all means. What do you mean by us humans?" And she's like, well, the Halcyons aren't the same as Valerians."
I'm getting that gif of Nathan Fillion vibes.
Yeah. And Ko goes, what about Beckon? Or Zephyl? There are plenty of humans in Aora. Landoth even. What kingdom are you concerned for? And she takes a second, and you can tell she's getting a little bit frustrated because, like,
Rhythm's doing exactly what I'm doing, just like eating chips and watching.
okay,
Like,
you can
my
tell
plan has worked. Now I can sit on the sidelines.
Hey, it ain't worked yet. It ain't worked yet.
Well, you can tell.
Oh,
she's
this
getting...
is as far as my. So my plan has worked. There was no end to my plan.
Then
Are you muted, Christine?
Yep.
Vita feels a little bad because
Okay.
they're absolutely getting ambushed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, this is the kind of questioning of the narrative that needs to happen. So they're kind of like, okay, good luck.
Yeah. Well, and so she can tell she's getting frustrated because she feels absolutely ambushed. And
100%.
he sees that on her face and he goes, by all means, Bullet, please don't feel like this is an attack. I am a seeker of truth. I like to understand the world and the way people think inside of it. If there's some reason you have to feel poorly toward me, I would love to understand it. Honestly. And so she, he kind of diffuses it just a little bit, and she's like,
Rhythm is sitting next to Vita, and I'm just gonna lean over to them and be like, I really love Ko. I'm so happy he was where I thought he was gonna be.
You trust Ko to help?
I trust him more than I trust all of you.
Oh, well, okay.
Wow.
Vita will take that in the spirit it is meant.
Yeah, in the best of ways.
Barley's like, this makes sense.
No, there is no stability in this group whatsoever, so Vita understands. But okay, yes. Okay.
Basically, I trust him inherently.
Okay, good to know.
And we're going to assume that Donna is with you guys tonight, and I'm going to control her character too for later. Not for battle, but just for lore purposes.
For later Gators.
Yeah. So Hilda says, "Look, I'm sure you're great people, but in Valeris it's different." And he goes, "Oh, by all means, enlighten me." And she goes, "Well, so the western side of Valeris, the elves moved in hundreds of years ago, and for you guys, that's not that long. You're going to be there for at least 1,000 years, but for us, we've got shorter lives. We've got to make more of it in the time that we have, and when there's less land, there's less resources. It's just it's hard fighting for these kind of things. We've got people to feed, and we should be fending for our own." Ko takes that all in and he says, "Well, I do agree that we should be fending for our own. I'm not opposed to taking care of those you see as family. I also don't think that family necessarily has to be dictated by blood." And she goes, "I mean, it's easy for you to say that. I mean, obviously, it's better to have a family you choose this way." And he goes, "Did you do anything differently?" And she goes, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well," or Koa goes, "Well, I spoke with Gaius, and it sounds like you did choose someone else over blood. If you're that worried about blood, that's the one you should be listening to, is it not?"
Ooh.
might take a drink.
Ooh.
All of a sudden,
I'll chime in
the whole place
on
turns
that
into.
and say, I have no idea who my birth parents were at the same time. I've been searching for them half-heartedly over the past 10 years, but the people I dedicated myself are people who cared for me. They
My
might not have
parents are
taught me
dead.
much, but people
All my
who,
parents are dead.
people who cared for me and loved me for me, not for what I could do for them. When Ko met me, I could barely make a cactus stay alive.
Allie's projecting.
Well, yeah.
Aw. Same.
Yeah, Ko is going to look at Rhythm and say, well, part of the problem is because you kept smashing them for prickling you.
They fucking hurt, okay?
Oh, well, I'm just saying it's not a great way to keep them alive.
Valid point. But
But what are they good for anyway? They
back
just
so
to
sit
many
there.
understanding.
The
But they
desert
just-
creatures pipes up.
But they just sit there and look pretty and have water inside them, I guess. But otherwise,
He's
They also make
he's gonna look to Barley and say, that's what my husband does, and I'm not complaining about it.
oh,
And the whole place just turns into a middle school cafeteria.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think I might be gay. Anyway.
All of this to say, blood family or chosen family, who you dedicate yourself should be to people who love you and not what you can do for them.
Okay, JFK.
It could sort of be what you do for them too, though.
the nature of relationships should not be strictly transactional or a sense of
Yes.
one was raised by person, so that person has hold and sway over a person, but more of a matter of reciprocal expressions of love and trust.
Thank you.
Very
That,
often,
Vita.
Vita has felt, as very much early in life, Vita had abilities that were not in check, and there were no people to teach Vita how to fix this. In fact, there was whole history behind Vita's abilities. That whole village worked very hard to not tell Vita in attempt to save feelings, but it was also a sort of thing where they did not share wisdom with Vita because that wisdom was still heavy and had personal hurt within communities. So Vita, in a way, for no reason other than existing, seemed to represent that hurt because it was not something they were ready to talk about. So in a lot of ways, Vita was pushed out of what could have been loving community because of something wholly not Vita's fault. And in this same way, no one can help certain elements of how they are raised. We do not have control over our lives as children. But what Vita has been very grateful to learn from this whole group, and as we continue to travel and meet new friends, this continues to expand. It's that there are so many different perspectives. It is very valuable to observe the world from more than just one island.
My
You
parents
say
made me
you're
steal stuff. They weren't really my parents. They were adopted parents. My real parents died, bringing me to Beacon from war. And then they got sick and died. And then I had adopted parents, and then they taught me how to steal things. And then when we were stealing things, some stuff happened, and my stepmom died, and then my stepdad also died, and then
No
I was very
stepdad?
sad. Yeah. And then step bro, why? No, then I started to try to drink myself to death, and I might be a little traumatized. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is,
You're still drinking yourself to
what?
You're
death.
doing a horrible job, Barley, because you're,
You're still
still
drinking
alive.
yourself to death.
Basically, I know. You don't have to tell me. Anyway,
This is odd sore point for Barley.
the point is that yes, family is what you make it. These motherfuckers kept me from killing myself many a time, which is frustrating, but it's fine.
I want to set the record straight.
and
I have
had
never
meaning.
fucked my mother. She died when I was very young.
Vita does not
What?
have mother, technically. Vita has parents.
That's not the point.
You guys, come
Listen,
on.
like
Ko is going to lean over to Rhythm and say, "Am I supposed to be helping him too?" Or...
I don't think that's possible.
Okay.
We
But
try. We mostly corral, but we try.
all
the
of
point
this
is, family is what you make it, and
Yeah.
sometimes people need a shove in the right direction, but you
Also,
go ahead.
no, Vita wants to piggyback off this thought. It took Vita a while and time away from family, time away from the people who raised them, to recognize that certain things that Vita was taught were not complete. It did not mean that Vita was not loved, that Vita is not part of community. But there are times when, especially when community is deeply isolated, like Vita's community is, there are certain things that are just believed because it is pattern, rather than believed because it consistently holds up. And Vita faced some interesting perspectives when Vita came back with friends that was not lizard, that was not from community. And it is important, Vita has found, to have healthy skepticism of things that was drilled into Vita's head, because it actually freed Vita a great deal to see that perhaps the people that raised Vita weren't entirely correct.
The only thing of mine
And
that
it-
got freed on that venture was my bowels.
R.I.P. to Red Bowels.
At least you have yours.
Well, Barley does.
This
Sarah
isn't
doesn't.
all about you, man.
What
And
it is.
I'll look at Hilda and the kids, Sigurd and Eric, and I know we're trying to tell you things that go against what you have heard since the first day that battle happened.
Or
And
even experience. Vita does not want to discount personal experience on part of children. But
we're telling you things that go against everything that has happened since that day your mother was killed and you were taken from your home. And that's difficult, and you cannot believe us, and you're allowed that. But at the same time, in one way, shape, or form, we've been in different yet similar situations, different yet similar experiences, different yet similar times, whether it was Gaius being at war, whether it was living with people who hated who we were, whether it was being with people who taught us to hate. we haven't been in your shoes, but we're just asking, maybe see that there's a chance that the family you grew up with outside of the three of you together doesn't have to be the be all end all. That there are facts outside of what you were told were facts before today.
Hilda is sort of like, she's like bouncing her leg, thinking, struggling with it, pretty anxious about all of this. And she goes, okay, so blood maybe isn't always the best way to go, but Eric, Sigrid, they are my blood, and that's who I've always taken care of. That's who I've got to make sure, regardless of who it is, anyone who wants to kill us, anyone who wants to hurt us, I'm going to make sure that we take them down so that they don't have to live in fear, that they've got somewhere safe in the world. And Ko's going to go, do you have the impression that a lot of folks would like to do you harm, Hilda? And she goes, absolutely, yes. Where we were yesterday was a battlefield with elves and half-elves and plenty of other folks who were bombarding Opes. And Rhythm, you probably know this, but no one else does, but Ko smiles a little bit, like almost sarcastically before catching it, and then drops it, and he goes, just out of curiosity, Hilda, am I correct in understanding that Opes is that's where most of the wealthy retirees tend to go, right? For Valeris, let's say the upper class of Valaris. And she goes, yeah, but I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. Goes, oh, I'm just making sure I know the place.
Rhythm is doing just this and drinking a glass of wine, just watching.
Well, I was just like...
I have a sunbeam on my face
he
and
says,
I'm sipping tea.
his pinky's out like this.
I'm gonna lean over to Sidonia. We're gonna arm wrestle later. I think I might be stronger than you now.
It's good to have dreams.
I like Sidonia. Sidonia is my new favorite.
The one-liners almost made me spit.
And it's giving me life.
The one-liners.
I'm
gonna cry.
So, but Ko tunes back into Hilda and he says, look, I can't speak, obviously, on behalf of every elf, and more particularly the elves who live in Valaris. I don't know what their experience is, but Hilda, I don't think they want to kill you. I think they want to live the same way you do. And she goes, that doesn't... No one was bothering them. And he says, well, you've been to Volpa, right? And you could see, like, sort of the fuck you got me look goes over her face. And he says, would you mind explaining to maybe the folks who haven't traveled as much as, say, you or I have, about Lupa and Volpa? And she kind of like grits her teeth a little bit, and she's like, Volpa was an elven city established like 1,000 years ago, and they didn't bother anyone, I guess. That's what they always said. And then some folks didn't like that elves were living on the coast, so they built a city across the bay to keep an eye on. And they spend a lot of time going over, but just making sure that they're not doing anything.
Oh.
And then Ko is like, have they had a lot of experiences with uprisings out of Volpa? And she goes, well, no, because there are people there watching them. He goes, I'm sure that's why. So you are under the impression, and again, please don't take this as condescension. I just want to make sure I understand that you're being oppressed, that you're being shoved out by these people. She goes, yeah, I think we are. He goes, it's interesting. Rhythm, weren't you run out of town by humans because you're tabaxi and they weren't very fond of that?
Yep.
That's seems like you and Hilda have a lot in common because Hilda, you've been run out of town for being human, right? And you could tell she's irritated, but there's not much she can say about it. And he goes,
You've been run out of
Red was
not only town, but like multiple towns, right? Because of being human. Right?
I was run out of town, but I deserved it.
Vita was
on,
run out
you
of
always
village because
deserve
Vita
it.
kept collapsing buildings, but that is probably this may not be entirely related.
Yeah, Barley, you I kind of understand. Vita, magic notwithstanding, but like, no, totally. I understand, Hilda, the feeling of hatred that you get from other beings running you out of multiple towns, making you fear for your life in day-to-day circumstances, right? That's what you've been through over the course of the past few years.
Vita's
Not being
tail
able to ever
circles around
spend time
Rhythm a little
in
bit.
the same place for more than a few days.
Ko sort of takes the reins because he senses a lot of vitriol and he doesn't want it to get nasty. He just wants to be very firm about like know your fucking place too.
And I immediately
so
step down when Coke steps in. I'm just like, yeah, okay, I overstepped my bounds. I'm just gonna go back to chewing on these chips and
Vita hugs
He-
Rhythm just a little, like a very brief lean in and just like
he says he goes, but by all means, I mean, surely you have the experience of your entire people's almost being wiped out because someone thought it was inconvenient that you were there. Red, I think, had that experience. You said Aramore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hilda, you also have a lot in common with our friend Red here, whose entire village was destroyed by um, a Fey person, if you can call him that. He's particularly evil, but he wanted their land, so he killed the entire village. Sort of similar to how you've lost all of your friends and family and home to enterprising elves, you said. Or, if I understand the story correctly, you also feel particularly oppressed because of just how you were born. Vita, was it you were telling me that you were asked to leave your friends and family because you were born with magical abilities?
this is correct, yes.
So a lot in common with Vita here. Hilda, I will say that it makes a lot of sense for you to identify so strongly with such oppressed peoples because you've been through so much, haven't you?
I'm gonna lean
She
into Vita and
is-
be like, this is why we came here.
Vita suddenly nods and takes a drink.
Just like lift the wine glass.
Hilda is like red in the face. There's tears on her eyes. Like she's angry, but also she knows he's fucking right. Like this is that painful, you have to break the bone before it can reset moment for her. And he sees that, and he doesn't necessarily want her to suffer. He just needs her to break the bone so he can set it right. And he goes, I think the most genuine thing that you've told me, Hilda, is that you want to protect your siblings. I think that's commendable. I think that it's a sign that you are a good person. Good people, or I should say bad people, don't care about anyone. You care about some people at least. Maybe not as many as you could, but you care about some people. But Hilda, this is what I think the folks in Valeris don't want you to understand. I care about some people too. He looks to his sister, whose name I came up with and then
Noessian.
forgot. Noessian, yeah.
Welcome.
He looks to her and yeah, thank you. He looks to her and says, "This is my elvish sister, and I do what I can to heal, but I understand that if anything were to happen to her by another person's hand, I'd probably want to pick up your sword as well. But it's important to remember that I have a sister that I care about. You have a sister and a brother that you do. I've heard that Vita has plenty of siblings. Having family, having goals, ambitions, is not the property of humans. It is a shared experience of life, regardless of what form it takes. And I think that if you were to take some time to appreciate just how precious things are, maybe not in your eyes, but in the eyes of others, you'll find a world filled with jewels instead of a world filled with enemies. Beautiful moments, things that will move you to tears, things other than your rage, at least. The fact of the matter is, Hilda, and I believe most of the elves in Valeris are just trying to live. And if you see the lives of others as a burden, then you are a predator. Hilda, you are not a predator. You are a protector. And I'd like for you to examine that and refocus on protecting your family instead of taking people away from theirs. Well, that was a good meal. Sidonia, a little easy on those spices from now on. I think I'll take a nice little stroll. Heavy conversation, fresh air will do me good. And he just gets up and walks away.
Thank you, Co.
He
Then
absently
completely
gestures.
out of his character, you hear him just going, keep strolling. What?
Keep strolling.
Okay, Sidonia, arm wrestle now.
All right.
Vita leans over to the younger two, holds up a bag of candy, and says, Vita says rhythm can take the giant. What do children say?
Are you teaching my children to gamble?
No.
You think they didn't already know?
Gambling.
I mean, really,
They've been
look
at
who
war.
they,
They know
Gambling.
look who
Hang
they
on.
spend time with.
Gambling and wagering are two different things.
Sure, I'll go with what Red said.
Kind of.
So like as this starts to kind of burst out, though, Sigrid, the youngest of them, looks like sort of at Vita and then at Ko and then at Rhythm and then at Hilda and says, I have an elvish friend.
Oh!
Yeah?
What?
Tell Vita about
What-
friend.
what-
Vita wants to know about friend.
Hilda looks at her and is just like,
Scandal.
what the fuck?
You literally,
Not disappointed, but just like, how did you
Hilda
keep
just
this the
shit
secret
bricks.
kind of thing?
Literally, there's now bricks on the floor.
Damn, let me just...
Give the dog a pretzel. Look at it. Look at it.
Look at the baby.
Aww. Barely.
She's had like 6 now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, but she was so desperate for one.
Oh,
She's clearly starving.
She's having a great
Look
time.
at her. Skin and
Yeah.
bones, that one.
So Sigrid sort of looks at Hilda and is like, the boy that used to clean out Simus's stables. He's a good friend. Like he's funny. And like I mean I know what they said, but like he did more work than Simus ever did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
So what was Sigrid's friend's name?
So before like as you're saying this, Hilda just like gets up and storms off in the opposite direction of Ko. And Eric is like,
She'll come
Should I-
back. She just needs time.
Yeah, just let her go.
No, seriously, Vita has bag of candy to say that Rhythm can take giants.
Okay, yeah.
Do you
no.
take bets?
Yeah.
Sidonia, let's go.
Yeah, Sigrid
I'll
looks at
take
Vita
your
and
bet,
is like,
Vita.
Okay, yeah.
Probably just like, yeah, me
All
too.
right,
Yeah. And I'll look at
Roll
the
and
kids
add-
as I'm setting up. I'm like, this has been too serious. Let's just have fun. Like,
Yeah.
I know you've
Yeah.
been at war, but like fun. So arm wrestling. Let's go.
roll and add your strength mod.
How horribly does Rhythm
That's
lose?
not too bad. That's a 16.
Oh,
So he rolled a
shit.
19. So he's, he sits up and he goes, try not to embarrass you a little bit. And he's like, he gets that look on his face where he's like, okay, you actually have gotten a little bit stronger, but he's like, he looks at the kids and he looks at the bag of candy and he's like, just holding Rhythm's arm there. And he's like, who bet for me to win?
The kids
Robbie
shit.
and Sigrid raise their hand.
And then he,
Red and Sigrid.
and,
No,
and then
no,
he
it was Rita.
slams Rhythm's hand.
Oh, Vita lost to amazing candy. Oh, well, I guess the kids have to help get rid of
Yeah.
it.
I take all
Vita
of the
lost
candy
candy.
from the baby.
Vita fights red. So, frills extend, eyes go red. Demonic is, do not take candy from me.
Shit.
Rhythm, Sidonia looks at the kids and gives them kind of a knowing, like, that's for you, kind of thing.
Wait, no, 2 out of 3. 2
And,
out of 3. Come on. You even said I was getting stronger. Come on.
Oh, look, Vita has other bag of candy.
Where does this candy
he-
keep coming from?
Vita has sweet tooth. What?
He looks at Rhythm and he goes, I knew you had a thing for embarrassment, but come on, this seems...
God damn it,
Oh,
Stonia,
excessive.
come on. 2 out of 3.
Oh,
All right,
For a minute,
it's
I
fine.
thought
Let's go.
Rhythm just said, "Come on, Estonia," and I'm like, "The country?"
I know.
come on. Yeah. What are you doing?
17.
Still a 19. He rolled the
fucking
same
damn
number
it.
again.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Vita, if one bag of candy went to the smaller kid, Vita hands the other bag of candy to the middle child. Just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
He goes, do you want the third one just for the experience?
No. I mean, kind of, just to see if I even have a chance.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
That's a nat 20, so it's a 20.
He rolled a 13, so yeah,
I
that's
got one!
Ah!
he sort of like gets a look of shock on his face for a second, like, but then he tries to play it off. He's like, we didn't want you to look too
I
bad.
told you I've been working. Told you. I killed a demon, dude.
Devil.
No, you don't.
Devil.
Trigger. Tell her.
But like on a serious note, Sidonia. Ko's like
Yeah.
off on one of his walks. He'll be back in a while, but if the three kids want to hang out with the mist for a while.
Rhythm, you should know better than this already. He went to find her. He just made it seem like he left first.
I
He's already
know.
he's
I
already
know.
invited.
I'm just making sure that that's what I thought was.
Yeah, he's going to invite.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I look at the guys and be like, so basically, if they want to, they've got to.
Sidonia is going to put his hand on your shoulder and go, "My husband's the smartest man on the planet. What he'll do is he'll walk away and make it seem like he left, but when you leave, he's actually already where you were going to go, and you're surprised, and you think like, well, I can't say no to this guy. He already knows what I'm going to do, and he just kind of gets his way that way.
Yeah, that's how the fuck you guys got me for like a year.
He's real charming and wise. I love that man.
He's very handsome and very
not as much as us. Though.
Yeah, no, we're 100% the handsomest people in the mist.
Number one and number two.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, until you leave, and then it's just number one.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get you some competition though, because I think it's getting to your head.
Oh well, you don't have much else to go for, so it's not easy living in the shadow of the greatest man this circle's got. So,
Sidonia, I don't know how like this world keeps going with the gravity of your giant head.
I'd be lost without it. I'm keeping it in check.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing my skull's made of stone, because it won't fade away even after.
Not at all. Not one bit. But yeah, I'm gonna look over at Gaius and be like, if Hilda wants to, and Sigurd and Eric too, like you guys are open, but there's a spot in the mists for you to hang around as long as you want and travel with them and learn about the world and help other cities and villages bring life into the world and sustain themselves. So I can take you back home tomorrow morning if you really want to, looking at Eric and Sigurd, who are still there. But if not, I trust these people inherently with my own life, so God knows I trust them with my friends, and you guys are my friends now. So if you want to spend some time seeing something outside of war, it's your choice. I won't force you to stay, I won't make you stay, but if you want to, you can.
As a side, Vita thinks that perhaps Battlefield is not the safest for
Not the safest for anyone, whether you're your guys' age or our age or his age. Your dad's old. Just
so old,
so
ancient,
old.
Why?
the most old.
Why? Yeah.
Why not?
Like, if you want to not be on a battlefield for a while, this is an option.
Yeah,
you don't have to make a decision now, but like, you have a place here. They'll take care of you. They'll take you to different places that God knows you won't see on a battlefield, but
yeah, and
you probably won't die tomorrow because you're not going to be on a battlefield.
Yeah, that's a positive there, but also we know somebody who has made a plane of existence to help out with a certain child of prophecy, as it were. And if you guys don't think this is like, I think that you guys should stay here with these guys. They seem like good folk, but if
they're the best
you want to help
guys,
out,
shut your ass.
Shut your ass. I can't do that.
Anyway, like, we could always give him a call if you want to help out with that. I mean, he's just a little boy. He could use friends, maybe people to help.
Yes, also in similar position to everyone else in this group is threatened by nature of very existence and for no reason of any action on the part of person. So
Yeah. But I like, that's only if you want to. If you think being with this group, which I do think that being with this group would probably benefit you more because you'll be interacting with more people. So it's really up to you.
Sidonia is going to lean over to Rhythm and say, "You know, someone's whole plane of existence."
Okay, so I'm gonna like go to put my arm around his shoulders and then realize like, fuck, you're too fucking tall, and just like put my arm around his waist and be like, okay, come over here over here for a second. We're gonna walk a little ways off.
Vita, yeah.
Long story short,
Noesian's going to follow.
long story short, wait, who follows?
Noesian.
Co-sister. Yeah, she's cool. I'm gonna be like, okay, long story short, you're not getting any more pretzels. They're gone.
Give her a pretzel now.
Don't have any more. I'm sorry.
You better fucking.
Mother starves me.
You better fucking bird. You better. Hey,
I'm sorry.
hey.
Oh,
look.
Oh.
You better fucking bird that shit right now and puke it up into her mouth.
Mama bird.
Ew.
Mama bird.
Don't baby bird anybody.
Sorry, they are.
Baby birding is gross, guys.
Oh, shake it off. Okay.
Rob,
but no.
We're not here to kink shame, buddy.
We are here to kink shame.
So long story short, I had a dream that all of these guys also had the same or similar dream. Brought us all together. We killed some devils, not demons, devils. But over the course of things, we became friends with the former head of something in Beacon. I can't actually remember what his title was. He's now exorcised from that group. Beacon kind of hates us. Long story, but
do you mean exiled?
Yes.
He's not a spirit.
Exiled. Sorry. He's exiled.
Rob.
I waved my hand.
But
Rob got a bit triggered when you said exercised.
Basically, he found this book that let him create a new dimension wherein we are helping house the Diamond Dragonborn.
This sounds like a fucking acid trip right now. I hope you know that.
Murdered by Beacon as part of a child sacrifice.
Complete acid trip.
Interfering with geopolitical nonsense. That is what we did.
Noesian's gonna say, were there like new plants there?
Kind of. We made the new dimension, and so, like, I basically helped him create new fauna inside of that dimension that would be life-sustaining, but also pretty.
His name's Alias, by the way.
Yeah, his name's Alias. He's really cool.
God damn it!
I forgot his name.
Every time she says dimension, I keep thinking of the Moonanites, and I need to stop.
We're in a whole different dimension.
I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out a rock and be like, if I really wanted to, like, he gave me this sending stone, but I think he'll be really mad if we call him, because it's only been like 2 days. And the last time I called him, we almost died because of a lich and a Draco lich.
This just keeps getting more and more acid
Sed-
trippy as it goes on.
Yeah, but it's our life.
Sidonia is going to look down at you like real serious, and then just
Nice
bust
up.
out laughing and punch you a little bit too hard on the shoulder, and just be like, "All right, now I know you're messing with me."
No, like there's a lich and
No,
a
it's
Draco lich over by
you've
my
got a
old
great sense of
hometown in
No,
Hazeldrum. They kind of
no, there's-
destroyed everything.
I'm gonna step
No,
up. I'm gonna
that's not
step up
true.
to Sidonia and be like, she's right.
Step up the movie.
I'm like,
Step up the movie.
it's true, and I'm just gonna keep walking. Back over to
Yeah,
back
no,
over
the
to my
last
corner.
like year and a half has been really fucked. I should have come with you guys.
Sarah, stop.
What is Sarah doing?
You and your
She's
fifth
sitting.
dimension. We have 5,000. Sarah's on mute.
We have
Sarah, you're muted.
5,000.
Man, that's not a check. That's a bill. You mean I've been carrying around a bill this whole time? God damn the fucking Moonanites.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to.
I just want to talk about this for a second. My favorite part of that entire show is when Master Shake refuses to pay the bills. And so Meatwad shoves sticks and leaves into an envelope and writes with it on scribbles on it with crayon. And just it's this thing where like this is exactly the kind of comedy I love, where a premise is set up, and then midway through the premise is wholly fucking rejected by the person who set it up. It's my favorite thing. So he says, Frylock comes in and he's like, Meatwad, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to send this to the power so I can watch my favorite TV show. And he goes, Meatwad, that's great, but Master Shake needs to pay the bills himself. And he goes, what he needs to do is pay for me to get an education. This is just leaves and sticks. I was going to send this to him. Suddenly he's aware of how stupid what he's doing is, but he's doing it anyway. Oh my god, that shit gets me every fucking time. Anyway. They do the same joke set up in the episode where he's trying to bust that giant balloon, where they're like, all right, Meatwad, you've got glass in your skin. You just need to hop up and bust that balloon. He goes, I know what to do. You don't need to lecture me about this. But do what now? And immediately gets every single time. It's so fucking good. Anyway, sorry. Just think about that. Literally, like at least once a week.
While we're here, we need to shout out to one of our viewers.
Upload a TikTok?
Craig, wake up, man.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's time to wake up, Craig.
Craig, you missed a lot of episodes of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, so time to.
I'm gonna need you to be like the mummy in Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You're just gonna need to wake up and go, surf, turf. Fucking that shit when he just goes, lessons! I just lose my shit because it's like, what does he know about skiing? He's a mummy, but he wants some skiing lessons.
Hey, he might have known in life. He was alive once.
Nah.
No.
Oh.
That's true. We don't know that he's. No, he is an Egyptian mummy. They do talk about that. Never mind. All right. Anyway.
It is not your dinner time, Aurora. You have an hour left.
But mother.
Bye.
But kiss.
But
But
mother.
nose kiss. Nose
Mother, notice me. I'm adorable.
I am starving to
Maybe.
death before your eyes.
Look at me. I cost you so much money.
She's
Look at me.
50 pounds.
Oh, big.
She was
queen.
45 pounds 2 years ago, and now
Aw.
she's 50.
You've gained
She's a
5
little
whole pounds.
chonker.
She's losing too much weight,
Look
obviously.
at how hungry she is.
Oh.
Starving her.
Oh.
A boost. A
Oh.
boost.
Too much of boost.
So you guys sort of like help out around the camp, get to know everybody. Eric and Sigrid are sort of still just floating. They're like not entirely sure what's happening to their world. They're not opposed to it, but this is, when you're a kid and a lot of adult decisions are being made around you, you don't really know what to do. Let's say hypothetically, your parents are getting. No, I'm just kidding. So,
Is it my fault?
So,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
exactly. It's like, what does this mean for me now? I literally have
I
no
have 2
agency.
homes.
Uh,
I have 2
yeah.
kinds of stuff. That's
Yeah.
cool, I guess.
So they
Miss my dad.
eventually Ko does come back with Hilda. And she says, Eric and Sigrid, let's go for a walk. And they reluctantly sort of follow her and they walk away from the camp. Ko comes up to Rhythm and says, well, a lot of healing to do there.
Yeah. I could think of no one better to help them see the rest of the world than you guys.
Well, again, flattered, but you speak too highly of us. How are our new friends getting on? Does anybody need anything?
No, this is lovely.
I'm glad you think so.
I can always use things.
Well,
Vita starts setting up the blanket of fortitude and just kind of getting ready for everybody to rest and sleep.
okay. The circle will get very interested in the blanket of fortitude, obviously.
100%.
Oh yes, come see Vita's lovely home. Yes, come in, and we all clown car inside this very tiny tent, but is way bigger on the inside. Speaking of,
It's as big as your imagination.
Ko is going to walk over to Barley and say, so all that stuff about drinking, wanting to die. Is there anything you want to deal with, or
I don't
good?
know who told you that.
You-
But they were absolutely 100% right. I'm sorry. I can't even.
I would hope so. It was you
Ah,
several hours
shit.
ago.
Me and my big mouth. What am I gonna do with myself?
I'm gonna
Can't
kind of
take me
lean
anywhere.
over at Barley and just be like, I may or may not have brought all of you to the Druid Circle equivalent of a therapist.
oh rad.
Wait a minute.
Look,
You need to quit bringing people back to the rapists, okay? It's not. We did not sign up for this.
Oh, come on.
Red.
No.
Come on.
Red.
Come
I
on.
did not sign up for this.
Fail.
Come on. Come on.
We found out tonight that Red's a Scientologist, so.
I mean,
But
I
yeah,
mean, my
no,
blood is just.
I knew
My
you
blood
had a
is just
Fresca.
space cum.
I brought you to
and you said I
basically
need
the
therapy?
family before I met all of you guys. But also the Druid Circle equivalent of a therapist. They're basically the only reason I stopped killing myself by living on my own.
I mean, I'm glad. I respect your decision to not kill yourself by living on your own, but some of us would like to kill themselves and live on their own.
Some of us.
So like,
one of those two things is okay. The other
so
is
killing
not.
myself.
No.
Shit.
Incorrect.
I thought I knew.
Some of us have never been able to afford a therapist.
Aw. Robbie, this isn't about you.
He's just doing it out of the goodness of his heart.
Good job, Sarah, bringing it full circle. I like it.
Love you.
I love it. Good job.
Love you, man.
Bring it all the way around.
I also love that movie.
Ko is.
I'm gonna look up at Ko and be like, I am just as dysfunctional as I was when you left me. Or when I left you. You guys didn't. You know what I mean.
I'm drunk.
But now I've got dysfunctional friends, too. So,
Hey.
better?
Ko's going to look at Barley and say, so, just so I'm clear, you're a man who is...
I'm a halfling. I am not a man.
Well, but a man.
Get that
Nonetheless.
shit-
Not
get that
human,
shit right.
but a man.
I ain't no man.
I
am the man.
A man that has been trained to go unnoticed and to not be seen, feels particularly unseen, so he talks constantly about his absence so that people will see him on the guise of not being seen. It's a layer upon layer of defense mechanism, I'll give you that. And what's wonderful is that you can blame anything that you do on the alcohol you constantly consume, and it's not your fault for what happens.
Why you... Probably just starts crying. I'm just kidding. No, just like profusely. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Look at Barley and be like, it's funny because it's true.
Look, I didn't come
Why'd you
here
gotta open that wound?
to be called out. I didn't come here for any reason, really. I just was bored, and I'm following them, I guess. And
I mean, you
sometimes
didn't
they need
really come
me.
here. I kind of grabbed your pant leg.
Okay,
seriously. Free.
I do get lifted off of my feet a lot, and it's fine. Like, part of me enjoys it because I get to feel the wind beneath my feet, and that's interesting feeling that I normally wouldn't have. But besides the point, so about all of that being...
Hang on. Pause for just a second.
Oh, God.
Pause it up.
I don't have those. I am a halfling. I don't have paws.
Ah!
I smack you with my paw.
Well, seeing as how you don't have paws, and this episode is all about racism.
What? Wait, what?
Got my furries now?
What? I'm confused.
Furries?
You would bring
No,
up
that's
furries.
Wednesday.
Shut up.
Oh, wait.
Wednesdays are nothing but furries.
Oh, I should watch. I'm just kidding.
Post your favorite persona on Wednesdays.
And
You should.
and
Hatsune
Hatsune
Miku.
Yeah,
Miku.
and Hatsune
Well, yeah.
Miku.
Makes sense.
Also, Christine, I know you're unavailable on Wednesdays, but like, you should, if you're ever free, you should watch because you and my friend Steven, who is in Yalmora,
Yes.
Steven is also 100% theater, and you and he would be besties.
Work.
Yes.
That sounds awesome.
Yes. I thought for a minute that they knew each other, and then I was surprised that they didn't. I was like,
Yeah.
what? How?
He's very talented and funny.
Super cool.
He is
Nice
one of
fish.
my favorite humans, and I'm very glad to have introduced you all, and at the same time, it scares me how well you get along.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's
I am
just a
only
little
Steven.
scary. And by a little, I mean a lot.
It's like he was here the
So-
whole time.
Part of me is just waiting for a Monday game to be going, and then Steven just to pop in and be like, I've been here the whole time.
What's up, bitches?
That is how he would enter.
So he and I have talked about this before. It's just that you guys have been really all over the place in terms of campaign focus. Like you do like 1% in one section of the campaign and then move on and do 1% in the next section. You guys are basically playing Breath of the Wild at this point.
What's that?
But
It's Elden Ring,
I
but
will.
easier.
That's fair. So
Wow.
which means it's fun. Fuck all the Souls games. That's not fun. It's garbage. Unless you're a masochist, in which case you should be playing at full staff at all times.
That makes sense.
Anyway,
I don't play a game unless I'm at full
Yeah.
staff.
What?
that's fair.
I play with my penis.
That checks out.
They're like, how do you do these button combos? And I'm like, well, I have extra help.
With speed.
This isn't Wednesday. I'm not supposed to be face palming, guys.
This is well.
Yeah.
Is this the point where we've derailed? Because I feel like we've derailed technically a couple of times this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ko will look to you and say, "Wind beneath your feet, huh?"
Oh.
He's going to cast animal shapes on you.
Oh, god damn it. I can
And
do
turn-
this by myself. I can already do this.
He can do a lot more.
God fucking damn it.
He is going to turn you into a giant eagle.
What?
And he will also wild shape into a giant eagle and take off and let you follow him.
I believe.
What if I don't? What if I don't?
Do you,
What
do
if
you
I
wanna,
Tobias?
do you want
What
to
if I
resist?
Tobias, Brian? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah, do you?
Renewed.
K.A. Applegate.
No.
You're a beautiful bitch and I love you.
Wow.
The best there is.
Stellar sci-fi. Read Animorphs if you
Hell
haven't. Oh my
yes.
god, it's so good.
Hell yes. I wish
Oh.
there was more. I wish there was more like you.
Thought you were talking about
But Tobias.
Tobias, the never nude.
Ugh, Tobias.
I'm so
Tobias,
sad.
you gay.
Skia!
You seriously don't fly after him if he turns you into an eagle and then he turns into an eagle too?
What if
He's
I
going to
just
show you the world.
Really?
Hey, man.
Really, Barley?
Shining, shimmering.
Barley?
You don't
What?
fly
how to
because you have the
fly.
opportunity to fucking fly?
Barley.
I don't know how to fly.
I cast fly on myself. I palm Barley's ass
Oh shit!
and fling him in the air.
It's just like, oh god! Oh god, let me die!
You're an eagle. You're just screeching the whole time.
That checks out.
Uh-huh.
Like, what the fuck? is
Allie
that?
does that, and then all of a sudden Brent's head pops in. What the fuck?
Bro,
Oh no.
it is not your dinner time. You can chill the fuck out.
Bullshit! I tell
Could
time
be.
better than you.
It could be. My
Tell
belly
me, tell
says
time.
yes.
Dinner and time was said to me. I am ready. It is indeed the dinner.
You have said
time
those
to
words
me.
and not done the things. You have lied to me. All of my trust in you is
She's
broken.
upset because Brent is gone for a business trip
Oh.
and he gives in to her when she's begging. And so she's looking at me
Yeah.
like, why are you not doing what Dad does?
Business
Why are you
trip.
not the biggest sucker? This isn't fair.
Yeah. Like, no, you can lay down. Down. Lay down.
Bitch, you don't tell me what to do.
Lick chop.
Lay down.
Ranger doesn't beg.
Lick chop.
Mother, look at me.
Thank you.
I am but skin and
Ranger-
bones.
You are a very
Yeah,
pretty
Ranger
girl.
doesn't beg. Ranger just barks at me until I do what he wants.
Bark.
She
Cause
just
he knows.
paws.
Cause he knows you're
Like,
a
this
beta
whole
cuck,
time,
Rob.
She's just reaching at my shoulder,
All
pawing
right.
at me.
No.
Because he knows I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I get shit.
Okay, so Vita, Ko, and Barley have gone off on a small
Oh
flight.
no, Vita doesn't invade
damn
on
it.
the flight. Just Vita makes sure Barley follows Go.
Oh,
Just-
okay, gotcha.
He just like zapped me and I'm like, ah!
Just
Okay.
flap your arms.
Now Vita is like just kind of flying around, chilling because they have the fly spell now. It's
Sure.
radical.
Okay, so
Fucking rad, man.
Eric, Hilda, and Sigrid kind of come in as the giant eagles take off, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Welcome to Druid Circles. People just become eagles every once in a while. It's
Or flying
fun.
lizards.
They'll probably turn you into an... Also flying lizards, yeah. That's a very special us thing that happens, not so much a Druid Circle thing.
Vita's not cheap this time. They loop around.
I know I kind of brought you. I gave you fair warning that this is what was kind of gonna happen, but like not to the extent that it did happen. Are you? How do you feel? Sidonia, is that the right thing I should be? That's like the way you should say things, right?
You're doing great.
You're good,
What?
right?
No, you're doing
Oh.
great. I can't wait to see you as a mother.
God damn it, Sidonia. Okay. Well, how are you feeling?
Hilda
How do you
is
feel now? Ba-ba-da-ba-da.
gonna. She's gonna like step forward a little bit, and she's gonna go. Ko made some reasonable points. The guy who raised us is dead. Kind of mixed feelings about that one.
Not sorry. I was about to say sorry, not sorry, but like still also not sorry. Just honesty. Honesty is the best.
Vita kind of hovers in and says, Vita notices conflict of feelings there. Is this something that Hilda or the younger ones wish to talk about? Was this not the most loving of parental figures?
Well, he was fine. I mean, look, he made us strong. Nurtured some good things about us, but he also. You guys have heard the term "might makes right."
Vita has heard it.
Yeah.
Vita does not agree with it.
Well, he kind of taught us if someone could take him down, they should.
Oh. Interesting.
Sort of believe the world was better off taking out the the more weak folks. So
Complicated man.
But here's the thing: in the dating world, height makes right. Because if you under 6 foot, I ain't messing with you.
That's objectively true.
This is just Tinder, okay?
Just going completely ignoring all of that.
Did you say Tinder?
I imagine Ko placed the invitation for you guys to spend some time with the Mists.
He did.
Your thoughts?
Well,
more like the missed me with that druid shit.
It sounds as if this might be a great place to have help in protecting young Eric and Sigrid. It sounds as if this group of people will make that responsibility a light load, no?
Hilda's actually going to sort of walk over to Vita and
still hovering.
Yeah, sort of like quietly talk just directly at Vita and try not to be heard by anyone else and say, "Look, I'm going to be honest. I don't understand you in a lot of ways. I have never met a lizard folk before now. And you kind of terrify me."
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But you say a lot of things that make sense, even if I don't want them to. So I'm gonna ask you a really blunt question, and I don't know if you'll like it but it's something that I kind of keep going over my head. how do I know these are not the kind of people who do want to kill humans, who hate elves? Sleeping, camping next to people after they know sort of who I've been and what I've done.
Well, Vita has seen Hilda in fight. Vita watched Hilda take out Gaius. It was very impressive.
No, it wasn't that hard.
Mm. Dang.
Damn. Damn.
Vita cocks their head, snaps, and goes, dang.
Just
But-
as a this is just for you guys, sort of for a crit roll stat type thing. She had more than half her hit points left when she took out
Good
Gaius.
God. She's a monster.
Yeah, she was doing fine.
She's a monster.
Especially with that comment, Vita is not worried about Hilda getting out of scrape if Hilda does not want to be in scrape. No?
Well, look, face to face, that's one thing, but a knife in your back, kind of hard
Okay.
to defend against while you're sleeping.
Vita does not know this group personally. So Vita cannot speak directly about them. Vita has just met them. Vita likes vibe. But who Vita does trust implicitly, because they have earned Vita's trust over quite a long period of time, is Rhythm. And if Rhythm says they are good, Vita, and as Vita is saying this, they're kind of turning upside down as they're talking because they're not really thinking about upside down. Vita trusts Rhythm's perspective, and if Rhythm says that they are safe, that is good as gold to Vita.
Okay.
Also, Vita thinks if this is not where Hilda and Sigrid and Eric want to be, maybe hang out with these folks for a little while and then do something else. It does not seem like the group of you will be prisoners.
Okay.
Can I?
Hey, sorry for yelling at you yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
And she immediately turns around like she is not owning that apology. She's embarrassed by it, but she wanted to say it at least.
I said
Can I roll
so she-
some kind of like perception check to see if I hear any aspect of the conversation?
Yeah, she's basically
Yeah, go
like,
for
I
it.
said the thing, only you heard it, never speak of it again.
Yeah,
Sure, great.
Never happened.
That's
I
a
was never here.
25.
good enough to catch the general gist
Okay.
of all of it.
If
So
you tell
Yeah.
me that I did it, I will deny it.
gist.
When she turns away from Vita and starts like going away, I'm gonna just walk up to the side and be like, I traveled for some time with the Mists. They wanted me to join the circle, and at times I regret my decision to leave. But at the same time, they are not a group that will force you to stay with them. A commitment is made one day at a time. And so, if a day comes that you wake up and you or Eric or Sigrun or all of you want to leave, you will be welcome to. And same as me, if you ever come back, they will be happy to see you. But if you choose to spend some time with them, a decision you make tonight or tomorrow doesn't have to last that long. If you change your mind, you're welcome to.
It is such a blessing to be young and to have opportunities and choices. Vita says take the choice that feels right and keep making that choice until another choice feels good.
well, if I'm being honest, what choice do I have? It's this or go back to Opus.
I mean, there's a.
I can take you anywhere else that I know.
Well,
If you want to go somewhere else, whether it be Halls
Let's
or
go
Beckett
with
or
Shed the
Perea,
Pyro.
I can. Fuck you, Gaius. I can take you
Or
anywhere else.
Jed's like, oh, hey
tomorrow
guys,
morning.
I joined the circle. How's it going?
Oh,
Jed!
please.
We
I was
start
kidding.
throwing fire
Yeah.
at things.
Just kidding. They would
Please.
not let him into the circle. He burst.
Well,
Aw.
you know,
Yeah,
guys,
the druids
there's
frown
an
on
ancient
that.
proverb about choice, and it says, "Choosy moms choose Jif."
My friends notwithstanding, you can choose to stay with them. You can choose to go back to the front lines and continue fighting.
What about
Or you can choose to go
Be-
anywhere else.
Except
My
to
only
Aramore, because it
confines
doesn't
is
exist anymore.
I can take you to anywhere that I know, but the choice is yours. None of us can make that decision for you. None of us can tell you where to go or what to do. For the last 13 years, other people have told you where you should and shouldn't be. We're not going to make that choice. We're not going to tell you that. We can give our advice and give you input and insights based on our experiences. But the choice is ultimately yours. However, Hilda, I have to point out, your choice does not have to be Sigrun's or Eric's. And Sigrun's is not yours or Eric's. And Eric's
There it
is
is.
not
There it is.
yours or Sigrun's. Each of you have a choice to make. We can't make that decision for you, and you also can't make that decision for each other. Family is important, but being able to speak for yourselves and for what you believe and what you want is also important.
But they believe in racism.
Fuck you, Gaia! Shut up!
Allie, I'm
No
Allie, I'm
problem.
digging the Christopher Walken vibe tonight. I'm digging it.
They turn over, they look over, like sort of at each other at what Rhythm said, and then they all look sort of to Gaius, and Hilda's like, "What are you gonna do?"
Well,
He does a little.
we still have devils to deal with, but if you, wherever you choose to stay, I will be able to come visit often. We've got Tree Strike, and she knows where this group is going to be a lot of the time. I'm a little confused as to why she didn't know they were here this time, but like,
I had a hunch, okay? It's a cyclical. They're nomads, okay? There's no, like, they don't live in
Well,
one town.
I mean, the thing is the only devils we got left are the ones down in Georgia, so shouldn't be much longer.
what?
Yes, we have to have whole violin battle. Vita wants the gold one. So shiny.
So shiny.
A gold violin would sound like shit.
It would.
That's why the devil's
because
violin solo is so crap.
Is it because it's soft? Like, why?
Bad resonance.
Yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
put an That's why you put an electromagnetic pickup on it and make it electric.
Mm-hmm.
It raises the question: is he using gold strings or using normal strings, and the body's made out of gold?
Shit.
That is the question, because
If-
gold flutes sound incredible.
Wait, no. So, my god sister plays violin and viola, and she bet her father that she would learn how to play Devil Went Down to Georgia in exchange for getting an electric violin. And she learned it. And she got a fucking electric violin from him because he just didn't believe that she would be dedicated to learn the whole song. And she's like, fuck you. I'm gonna learn how to play this because I want a fucking electric violin.
Man,
Best way to get somebody to do something is to tell them, I don't
that
think
is
you
the
can.
perfect way to get me to
Best
go,
way.
okay, cool, I won't.
Bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, one or the other.
I don't think you can
Yeah.
play Dark Souls.
Cool, I won't.
Oh shit, you right.
Cool.
I'm gonna go into work tomorrow and tell my boss, hey, if I learn how to play all of Freebird, I'd never have to come back into work, but you still have to pay me, and see if he buys it.
Does he love Freebird?
Keep us updated on how that goes.
Yeah, I must know the conclusion of that little
Yeah.
enterprise.
Okay. But no, so
Anyway.
Might do
we
it.
told the kids they can make their own decisions. Now what?
I'm gonna be like, well, I have this ability to, to summon the spirit of your mom if you guys want to seek her guidance,
Your mom.
or maybe ask her 3 questions, probably 1 question each, about her, like about her life and what she knew and think she's done.
Super secret backstory. She's a half elf. What?
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
You guys want to do that? That'd be cool. But no.
Sorry, I had to.
Why are their ears so pointy? Oh my god, this whole time.
Full time.
Shit.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Their ears are pointy, but our fears are disjointy.
Shut up.
Go to
God
bed, Robbie.
No. No.
Because their fears don't make sense.
That good.
Yes. Good job.
Fuck, I'm so mad. I'm so mad at you, Robbie.
Ugh.
That's so good.
Hilda is gonna look at Eric and Sigrid and kind of get the facial cues from them, and she's gonna go, I think for right now we've got our fill for resurrected parents.
Okay. Choice is yours. I can do it whenever you want.
Yeah, maybe at some point, but that's a lot right now.
Big day. A lot of happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you're the dad. What's your suggestion?
Well, I would like you to stay out of harm's way, so sticking with these guys, I think, would be best. I'd like you to get to know more about the world. And I feel like this is the best way to do it.
Eric is going to Eric's going to look like Gaius for just a second when Gaius is about to say something really fucking stupid or cocky, and he's going to go, you may not have noticed back there, but we are harm's way, so I think we're pretty fine with that.
I mean,
Is that your band?
I mean, your dad's kind of this. Has he told you about the fact that arm on him, the right one, isn't actually his arm? It's a fucking ghost arm because he fucking talked to a ghost child in a haunted hotel.
yeah.
Hilda's going to say, didn't help as much as he probably needed, though.
No, it didn't help anywhere near as much as he needed.
I'm pretty sure Harm's Way is already a band.
Yeah, and I kind of get cursed.
Is it?
I'm like a curse magnet.
Also, no, Harm's Way is us.
You guys ever?
Also, look at the sword.
I was gonna say, you guys see the sword
Tell
they
you
got?
what we're known as in the world?
Honestly, if it's not already taken, you guys should change your names from the Charismaniacs to Harm's Way.
Oh shit!
Okay.
But
Way
can I
better on a
be
t-shirt.
can I be Chicken
Okay.
Parm's Way? Hell yeah.
Sure, I don't give a shit what you do with your life, dude. This is not only America where you can do whatever you want to, but it's the fucking apocalypse, dude. Live it up.
No, but I'm gonna look at them and
He just said he doesn't care what I do with my life. That means I can take it.
Did
You can.
we tell you what we're known as?
No.
We literally are fucking known as
Harm's Way.
Wait, guys, do you want to be the new name or the old name?
The new name.
The old name.
Where'd Sarah
because we didn't
We're
agree
the
on
fucking
that.
Charismaniacs, dude. We're
Sarah
ridiculous.
go?
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's still here. She's just muted and the camera's off.
Oh, I need Sarah. We need to vote on Harm's Way or Charismaniacs.
I mean, I'm going to introduce ourselves as the Charismaniacs to them because that's what we.
But I do like Harm's Way.
I
though.
do
That's
like
pretty fun.
Harm's Way. It's not better. It's just better.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
not better as a name for a group because it's equally what the fuck, but it's better for us.
And then once
we
retire, we
t-shirt.
can become Farm's Way because we'll all just live on a farm.
God damn it, man.
I should have stayed gone.
And
I had to leave. My poop was coming.
oh, fair enough. And then when you guys decide to experiment in your retirement years, you could call yourselves Farms Gay.
Oh.
All right.
Please.
So,
Please.
I mean, Rhythm
Please.
doesn't need to experiment. She's already that.
Hey.
Sorry.
I do though. I can see a T-shirt that says we are, with the R being like in italics and underlined. We are Harm's Way.
Jesus.
I feel like that's what's going to make us famous. Anyway, like, where the fuck did you get this shirt? I don't know. Some D&D kids. Don't worry about it. It's a good shirt. Fuck those guys though. So anyway.
Yeah, it's like we are idiots. We are the Charismaniacs. Also soon to be known as Harm's Way, maybe. It's a long story. But we're chaos, basically.
We could be like really into security and be called Alarm's Way.
I like it.
Definitely
I like
the
it.
dad of the group.
So yeah, so Hilda's gonna look to Gaius and she's gonna ship it seriously. Is there anywhere else? Do we have a home in Halls? Is there somewhere you found that's worth being? I mean, in case we want options.
I've got a house in Hazeldrum in Halls that's up for lease. It's my mom's old place. I highly doubt
gonna
those
make these kids
assholes
pay?
have found a renter for it yet. So that's also an option.
And our house is falling into pieces. So
Here's the thing.
We don't have anywhere in Evanston anymore.
The least you can do, Rhythm, is if you're gonna charge the kids rent, charge it to Gaius. He's their dad. He should do something for them.
Oh yeah, no, you guys won't have to pay it. He'll just have to pay me.
I am in charge of all the money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Why I'm gonna charge you rent?
Okay.
Children, right? You want to give your children a good home, right?
Right. There's also a extra planar dimension that we helped create.
We should probably get Alias's permission about that.
We
should
also
talk to
probably should
Alias.
stop telling people about the extraplanar dimension that we helped create.
Yeah.
Just
I was gonna suggest that,
No
but I'm a
chill.
fucking eagle right now, so.
This is therapy for Barley.
How?
It's called animal therapy.
Yeah. You ever heard of it?
Don't you have to
Obviously.
be consenting and not the animal
I
in
mean-
that situation?
so like
No.
it's
What?
slightly traumatizing, but have you ever actually looked into the research of animal therapy? Because it's traumatizing.
Oh.
It's when people like there was a quote unquote therapy where someone would kill a rabbit and then tape it to a child because they thought it would remove the evil from them.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's kind of like in the Black Death, they would tie chickens to the buboes on
Mhm.
people. That would to be like, oh, the animal can take the disease from my body if I tie it to the center of the
Yeah,
disease.
basically
Oh,
that,
nice.
but like children and like rabbits and shit.
Tell me this is not within the past 100
Oh,
years.
no, yeah, it was.
Fuck.
I was just talking about like riding horses and shit, but okay.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I was
Allie's
thinking
going
about.
dark.
Yeah.
Like,
Allie's
hanging out with
going
a
Too
dog.
dark. Sorry,
Bunny.
y'all.
Petting a cat. The two. Going to a cat hotel.
Okay.
Nice.
So we have three options: Arkanfalis, Ebonstone, or the Circle.
Not Evanston.
I need all of you to roll a d6.
A 6?
I mean, Halls was
A
one of those
D6.
decisions. I gave them the option of my house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hazel Drum.
Ebonstone. That's what I said.
That's
Oh yeah, sorry.
Hazel
Hazel
Drum.
Drum, not Ebonstone.
So would that be a
Yeah,
D8
that
then?
was- No, it's a
Well, fuck right off then.
d6.
4.
And this is in direct response to your request, Christine. Okay, hang on. So Allie said 4. Robbie, you can't have 8. Oh, okay, so 4. Okay, yours is a 6.
5.
Sarah.
Also a 6.
5.
Okay. By one vote of the dice, they choose to stay with the Circle.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Cool. This sounds good, and also I like the idea of us of Gaius being able to have like moderate access, so he can build a relationship with
Yeah,
them.
I know
That
know
feels
that.
good.
But not unfettered access. It
probably-
needs to be supervised right now.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
This ain't no
Those don't
divorce
turn
court.
into eagles?
This ain't divorce court.
What?
They were forcibly
Yeah,
emancipated
so
from you.
Yeah.
You're Haley Joel Osment, season 1 of The Boys.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
His
I remember
the
Oh,
mind reading guy. They blackmailed him by getting him access to his daughter, and then he still told Homelander. So then he got his face bashed in.
As you do.
Sounds light and fun.
It's a family show.
It's
Oh,
not that at all.
No, don't do that, kids. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now they're gonna do it. Damn it.
What if they're gonna have a train scene like on Invincible?
Oh my god.
Lots of people died.
So talk amongst yourselves for just a second. There's one last thing I need to
No.
cover about Liquid.
Also, look at that cat. Look at that cat. See that cat? It's a cat. That cat right there. Sarah's screen. There's a cat.
Oh. These cats.
There's a pretty cat. There's a puppy. There's a cat. There's a lava lamp that's broken.
Yeah. The cat broke it. Not this one. Different one.
Aw.
Oh, and there's that big fat cock that I gave Brian in the background, that orange thing.
I wonder where that big black
Just
cock I
fried
gave him
orange
for
chicken.
his birthday many years ago is.
I think it dissolved, and I think he's still upset about it because I heard stories. I think Hannah ruined it.
It was like this big.
Yeah, I think he's still sad about it.
Aw.
He treasured that cock.
His the real
would.
treasure of that cock was his mom's face when she saw it.
Are you guys talking about
Yeah.
my birthday cock? Yeah. That thing was the size of my fucking thigh. Like, it was massive.
Happy
Anyway,
birthday, man.
So thanks, dude. You know, Hannah fucked
That's
that up, right?
I didn't know, but
He was regaling us.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things she didn't fuck up intentionally, though. She tried to like soak it because the wrapping it came in was like super fucking sticky and it stayed on it. And so she was trying to clean it, but apparently Dawn dish soap tears those things apart. So yeah, if you ever get a massive fucking cock, don't use Dawn dish soap on it.
I could have told
It's a sentence.
Lock
it-
that away. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, no problem. That's a sentence that I've said. Not like it's been said before
What was
tonight
about Bad Dragon and them sponsoring us? Hey, Bad Dragon.
that they
Oh.
fucking
Please
should.
sponsor.
They should.
Hey,
They
they
never got
absolutely
back
Come on,
to
Bad
me.
Drag.
Also, like, don't clean sex toys with anything that could tear up your hands. And pretty sure Dawn dish soap does that. And there's
then
better
why are my
ways.
hands so perfect?
Not from Dawn dish soap.
All I use is Dawn dish soap.
Oh, well, then that means you're genetically a mutant, probably.
That's actually
Let me
checks out.
check this check out.
So,
can't taste it.
Barley,
What?
I need you to roll an acrobatics check
Fucking
for me.
damn it. Oh, I'm good at that. Wait.
Baby, you're a rogue. You should be amazing at
Hang
that.
on a minute.
If you're bad at that, you
Yeah, that
take
would be
your job.
sad. Yeah. Ooh, it's a plus
Good job.
7. Fuck yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Shit. Ooh, okay. 24.
Okay, yeah. So you relatively quickly get the hang of being a giant eagle. You and Co sort of fly around, and you were able to see the sun setting over the ocean. That's not too far to the south of you guys, as well as just the beginning of a coastline that starts to kind of veer off north. You see a little bit of the Drearwood forest off in the very far distance. The very tips of the Olgor Mountains to the northwest of you. Like, you start to see Perea in this, like, sort of more holistic way of, like, a massive... Like, it's like being in an airplane and looking out over the United States or something like that, and sort of seeing the Rockies on one end, and if you can turn around and seeing the Appalachians in another, and finally... I don't think that's actually physically possible. You'd have to be way fucking higher than a plane. But like just somehow getting an image of the scale of just how big this is, and you sort of think through, like how you've traveled a lot of that land and helped out some people and that kind of stuff. You guys, as it starts to get dark, you go in and you land without face planting, which is what you were rolling for, and Co sort of does this like very elegant, like as he's doing the landing thing, like he kind of comes in and his feet transform first and the rest of it kind of transforms up back into his elven form. You could tell that he goes in and out of animal forms like nothing. And he sort of looks around, takes stock of the situation, and looks to Hilda and says, I take it you'll be joining us then. She goes, for now, see where it goes. See what See what you guys are all
Just for
about.
now, just for now.
Just for now.
And that's where we're into the next session.
We'll end it with Imogen Heap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that song about the family dinner.
Yeah.
Noise.
Well, bye everybody then.
Yes, see
Bye,
you
all.
later.
We'll see you
Don't
next
racist.
week.
I'm a
Bye.
building.
Oh,
Bye.
Bye.
bye. Wake up.